our leaders, in regards to our leaders, it's very difficult to eradicate corruption in Nigeria from my own point of view. But clamping down on political officials has not, it's going out of fashion. The more you do it, the more you see them engaging in corruption.
Now, in the words of James Freeman Clark, he is an American minister, theologian, and author. He once said, "Politicians think of the next election, but a statesman thinks of the next generation." Absolutely spot on. I like that one. And our next one is from Simon Sinek, who is a British-born American author and inspirational speaker. He once said, "Leadership is not about the next election. It is about the next generation." Most like this, the first one. All right. Alfonso de Lamartine. He is a French author and poet. He's also a statesman. He once said, "Sometimes only one person is missing and the whole world seems depopulated." Okay. And our last quote is from Warsan Shire, who is a British writer, poet, and editor. He's also a teacher. He once said, "No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark." Wow. All right, let's see how all of this correlates to what we'll be discussing today. Very warm greetings and welcome to The Conversation. We are reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Annabel Orji. Now, today we'll be speaking about the Labour Party issues, and then with all of these squabbles they're having, even though they always say that it's a family feud and they can always solve it, but then how far will it affect the democracy that we always preach about? And then after on the show, we'll be having Comr Charles C Agubor, who will speak to us about integrity and what they do in when they advocate for integrity in Nigeria. We've got all of that plus more here on the show, so stick with us and we'll be right back after this time out. Join us again. If you just joined us, this is The Conversation. We are reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. We'll go straight to our second segment as the second leg of the show today. And our guest on the show today is Comr Charles C Agubor. He is the Executive Director, Committed Advocate of Integrity Initiative. He's also the convener of National Integrity Summit. It's great to have you on the show today, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's start with the general elections, 2023 general elections that was held across the country from the 25th of February, the presidential elections down to the state assembly elections and then the governorship elections. But yet you still have, even though some people have actually moved on and accepted their faith, we're looking forward to 29th of May being where the transition will take place and everyone, the pomp and pageantry that will happen at Eagle Square. But some other persons are still in court today. Up until today. So what are your thoughts? Even some Nigerians will say that they feel aggrieved, disgruntled that their mandates were stolen. What side of defense are you sitting? Those that accept that the election was free, fair, and credible, or those that accept that, oh no, some mandates were stolen, so we need to get it back?
Thank you very much, Annabel, for inviting me to your station. And thank you. From my own thoughts and my own point of view, election has been won and lost, and it has already been conducted. And I won't say those who are in court challenging the legitimacy of the election, I won't say they are wrong, and I won't say there is their right to follow the process, to challenge the procedure if they feel they are what happened on the 25th of February and the governorship election is not, if they feel they are not comfortable with the outcome. So it's their constitutional right to follow the court case to the end. And those that have moved on, is also their choice, that they have accepted their fate, that they have lost the election. So I'm not standing here nor there, but
so as a Nigerian?
As a Nigerian.
I'm sure you went to the polling unit on those days. You voted, you casted your vote.
Yeah, I voted.
So what fence are you sitting on at the moment? Here or there?
From my own point of view, there are challenges in the election.
Okay.
There are challenges, yeah. We have to admit that fact, that there is a lot of challenges and there is so much outcry after the election. Even the international communities, local observers that observed the election, their reports shows that the election was marred with a lot of irregularities. So anybody who feel that he lost the election and he was cheated, so going to the court, I don't see anything wrong about that. It is his right. And from my own point of view too, I believe, if you ask me now, I will tell you I'm not satisfied with the outcome of the election.
Oh, great.
Yes.
That means you're among those that feel that their mandates were stolen.
I won't say that I'm among those that feel that their mandates were stolen, because I'm not a member of any political party, as I said. So I'm not supporting anybody. I'm not a member of any political party, but I voted to the candidate of my choice. That doesn't mean I openly come and campaign or support the person. So that, but
are you going to tell us who you voted for? We can have these discussions now. The elections are over.
No, I don't think from the position I occupy, and you know, it's quite wrong for me to come to the public and make mention of whoever I voted for. It's my conscience, and I have to live with it. It's not to affect the cause I represent. So that's why I cannot come openly in the live television and tell you that, look at who I voted for. But I voted for the candidate of my choice, and it's for my conscience. I voted for my conscience. So, okay. So I don't think I can.
Would go back to the elections, but now let's get to understand, what do you do at Committed Advocates of Integrity Initiative? What exactly do you do there?
Yeah, as our name sounds, we're advocates. All we advocates is integrity, nothing but integrity. And also we also assist the government in the area of the fight against corruption. And we all want to do to make sure integrity becomes a dominant value in our society. You know, it has become a rare commodity in this country, the act of integrity, and it's becoming a problem in the society. If you watch, Nigeria is always going down the drain. There is everybody now. Nobody believes in integrity, and as I said, integrity is everything. And anything you're doing there is not integrity, I believe it will not stand the test of time. On the long run, I guess it will gonna be, you will regret it at the end of the day. So we are advocating and encouraging Nigerians to live a life of integrity, and it's worth living. That's why we have a program called National Integrity Summit. Okay. We have consecutively heard it for two consecutive time right now, in partnership with National Human Rights Commission. So we are even having another one coming this year. It's going to be in August 5th. We're also going to be in partnership with National Human Rights Commission. So all we're advocating, we are reaching out both to the grassroots, people out there. We're using the media like you people to reach out those those who cannot reach out to. We also use the help of the media to reach out to them. All we are preaching is all about integrity. But
are you preaching this integrity to just the ordinary Nigerians, or you're also talking to politicians, public service, public office holders? Yes, like the first edition of our Integrity Summit
the theme of that event was building a nation with integrity. And the second edition, which was close to the election period, it was electoral integrity, restoring the integrity of our electoral system and the future of Nigerian democracy. So we're also talking to our leaders, those that hold government positions and public offices. We also are advocating this integrity to them, that it's worth living, and if they can maintain it, we will move this country forward. That's just, I believe, that is the only problem we have in this country today. These are our leaders.
Sorry, I had to cut in there. I hear you say if they can maintain it, but then with all that has happened, now let's rate President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. In the last 8 years, we talk about corruption, with all that happened with the Accountant General of the Federation. You still have so many corrupt cases lying lay there. And then recently you have the Zamfara State Governor make mention of what he said to the CBN governor, telling the president not to allow the CBN governor go for a study leave, and then immediately EFCC came at his neck and asking him that, okay, so you have something with us, just be coming down. Looks like that's what it is. So with what you do, advocating for integrity, how much would you actually say that it has affected or touched the life of these public service holders?
I won't say it has not done any impact, or it has not affected, or it has not made any positive progress. It's just we're just starting. The program is just 2 years old now, and I believe the way we are going, it's going to actually gain a lot of impact. It will affect a lot of people will key into our project, and I believe our messages are going out there. People are viewing it. People are seeing it. Our leaders, in regards to our leaders, it's very difficult to eradicate corruption in Nigeria from my own point of view. But clamping down on political officials has not been, it's going out of fashion. The more you do it, the more you see them engaging in corruption. And that's why we are coming up with this idea, with this vision, that the only way we need to do is to encourage those who have told in the line of integrity, encourage them, honor them, give them national award, give them integrity award, so that those who are looking up to them will say, okay, for this person to be recognized for living this kind of lifestyle is worth living. And that's the only way.
Is that doable in Nigeria? Is that doable in Nigeria?
It's going to be doable. It's definitely going to happen. We are doing our best to make sure. Like the last time we had the National Integrity Summit, we honored an Uber driver who a passenger forgot $3,000 in his car and some other valuables, other foreign currencies. But the young man, funny enough, the guy did not even, it was a passerby passenger, not even the person that was booked, that maybe could have been traced.
You mean this alone?
Yes, they just flag him down, and they carried them to somewhere in Wuse too. And when he drove off, he found out these people forgot something in his car. He checked it and found out that it was a huge amount of money in dollars. He have to return back to where he dropped them and start making inquiry. These people, and lucky enough, they were still there. He gave them back the money and all that. And these are the kind of characters who need to be honored.
But now, that's what I asked. Now, you're talking about the ordinary Nigerian. He's just a taxi driver.
Yes.
So how about those in office?
We are also watching them. We are watching them. We are watching their antecedent. We are watching their character. And the ones we see that are outstanding, we're still going to go to them and honor them, so that the other people will go towards that direction. I believe that's the only way we can solve this problem. Because the more you clamp down on them, the more they use the resources they have to get themselves out of the net, and people will still go indulging in this kind of acts. So that's the only way I believe we can do this thing with sincerity of purpose. Apart from that, I don't see us getting rid of corruption in Nigeria with the way we are fighting corruption. It will keep on going on and on. It won't stop. So,
like, okay, now because you said that you don't see us fighting corruption, now we recall that when President Muhammadu Buhari was coming in, one of the 3 mantras that he led was fighting corruption, stabilizing the economy, and then fighting insecurity. Now, in this regard, how would you rate the administration in the last 8 years, in the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest? How far so far?
Well, I wouldn't say they have done marvelously well, but President Muhammadu Buhari has tried his best. In the scale of 1 to 10, I would rate them maybe 4.
4 is low?
Yeah, 4 is still low, but I guess he has tried his best as a person, as an individual. But he did, maybe, as I said earlier, he did not follow the right way. From the way he started, he was digging down what has happened in the past, and the way he was clamping down on people and all that. Attentions were diverted, and those in his cabinet were busy looting still looting our commonwealth. So that's to tell you that there is this issue of clamping down on political officials who are corrupt, who are committed all manner of corruption activities, who have engaged in all manner of corrupt activities. I don't think it's have a way. It will go a long way, in stopping corruption in the country. So I believe he has a good plan. He is a very sincere person. He came up with a the issue of anti-corruption, the way he started it, his plans were good, but on the long run, I believe they derailed. That's my own point of view. I guess they derailed from there.
Who are you're referring to him?
Maybe the people that is at the helm of the affair, people he handed over those positions to help him to fight corruption. I guess they derailed from the initial plan they had from the beginning, and that's what degenerated the whole thing. And it's worse today, if I may say, because the corruption in this country today, if you rate it from 1 to 10, as you said, I would say they have not is badly Nigeria is going down the drain in terms of corruption. So
now let's speak to the next administration. In the next few days, we should be having a new administration coming in. So what should be the way forward in fighting corruption? If you have to speak to the minds of the next administration and his cabinet.
Okay. The next administration that is coming in, if I would suggest, I would want them to key into our project. That is that, because I keep saying that's the only way I believe we can get rid of corruption in Nigeria. We have to keep preaching this thing, talking to people, not engage in this act, and look at the advantage. Look at what it will bring to the nation. Going into corruption will, it will bring down the economy of the country. It will not make the country move forward. So we need to preach and also look up to some government officials who has actually told in the line of integrity, who has performed excellently well in that direction. Honor them, even the government, give them national award, recognize them globally at the national event. The one we are also doing, if we are being supported and encouraged, and honor the ones both at the that is in the government and also those on the street, I believe it will go a long way to channel the renovate the minds of Nigerians. That is what is most important. If our minds are renovated, this thing will not be engaging into this act, and the things will work perfectly well for this country. If the next administration will go in that direction. That's my own opinion. Okay,
now tell us, at least give us 2 names from public officials that you have honored and you feel that they are well deserving of that honor you give to them in terms of integrity.
As I said, we're just, this project is still very young. We are still starting, we are making progress, and we are still searching. We're not relenting.
How do you do your search?
From the media, we go to, we search, we have people who goes out in the public service to give us information. Like, this person is an outstanding person. He offered to so bribe and he rejected. We're working on a whole lot of people this time. Our event this time is coming by August, and it's going to be the team of the ACA is winning and leading with integrity. So we're also working on what has happened in the last election, and also what's the next administration, how we want them to lead this country, move this country forward. So we're working on people where, as I said, we are searching and making investigations, looking at people who has actually performed well, who has displayed the act of integrity, both in public service and outside, and to get them involved and honor them, for people to look up to them for what they have done.
All right. Let's talk about political parties. Let's talk about especially the Labour Party. I know that you've said times without number that you're not a politician. I agree. But then with all this infighting, this squabbles you find, especially in the in that party, you have this faction and the other faction, the other one saying that there's no faction. I recently had the national leader of Labour Party, and then he said that they don't have any faction, that it's just the Lamidia Papa faction that everybody recognized. But then the court has recognized the Comrade Aburi's faction. So in all of this, how much does it affect our democracy?
It's expected. It has been a tradition in our Nigerian politics. Political party crisis has been on. It has been an age-long crisis. It has been there. And I thought this time around it could have been different because of the emergence of the person of P2B in Labour Party. He portrayed a new era of politics, era of politics, politicking. The way he started, and how his character endeared a lot of Nigerians, and his personality. If I may say, I admire him so much. Even though, if I would want to become a politician tomorrow, as I said, I would like to toe his footsteps. He's a man that every Nigerian should look up to in terms of character and behavior and his antecedent. But what is happening in the Nigerian political party today is expected, because it has already been there, as I said. But this time around, I don't know, it's affecting. If you watch the way the tribunal is going, you can see that this crisis is also affecting the political party itself and also the tribunal. So it's not a good development at all, and I believe we should do better in this direction and find a way to build a better get things right in our political system so that Nigeria will also move forward. It's also affecting the country entirely.
Okay, now, so do you see this affecting the fight for they said they want to reclaim their stolen mandate? So do you actually see this affecting that?
Yes, it's one way or the other is going to affect the progress they are making so far. It's going to affect it because you know, there are so many intrigues, and this tribunal case and this issue of Labour Party reclaiming their mandate, you know, to me, I have given it a lot of thought. I would like, why is Labour Party, why is their own case making a lot of news? They are not even the second. And so if anything, peradventure anything happen tomorrow, it's PDP that should take over power. But I don't know is what is going on. Why their own is making bringing a lot of controversy. Why so much interest in their case? But
don't you think it has anything to do with the obedience movement, like some people would say?
Yeah, I guess there's more to me. The eyes, the people are the people at the helm of the affair. The leading political party and the opposition. I guess they know better. You know what played out in the last election. They know better why this thing. Why are they focusing on this particular political party? I guess it was the uprising of the obedient movement, as you said. I guess it added a lot of color to the aspiration of Mr. Peter Obi, and it's becoming a threat also to some of our politicians, because this is the first time this thing that's happening. You know, they were not taken serious when they started. They were
social media.
Yes, they were social media. The social media that they will phase out in time, within a couple of time, that the movement will phase out. But this is the first time, and I encourage Nigerian youth to keep on, you know, keep the fire burning. It's a step in the right direction. I believe one day we'll get it right, and these politicians will no longer take us for granted.
Oh, great. Yeah. All right. So before we conclude on this segment of the show, I would like you to speak to the heart of the youth with regards to, some people will say that we don't want May 29 to come because we're not expecting this administration. But then it has happened, and it has happened. So we have to move on so that we can allow governance to take place. So we would like you to get your last word to the youth. And then secondly, to this administration, what your kind of organization is looking forward to, advocacies, what you all are looking forward to. I know that CSOs, you have so many CSOs that are you talk about, and this integrity, that has this advocacy in terms of integrity. So what exactly are you expecting to get from this coming administration?
May 29, I guess even the security operative have said is sacrosanct. It has come. It's constitutional. I don't think anything can alter it for now. Even though there is a court proceedings going on, it will come and go, and the court proceedings will also continue till they get to the end of it. So whatever happened at the end of the day will be the fate of the nation. But I will advise the youth to calm down. Let us follow due process. Let's not heat up the polity and allow the courts to take the final decision on that. And there is not much, as I said, with the way they from the CSOs and from the civil society angle, there is advocating for integrity. As I said, integrity remains everything in every endeavor, in every person's endeavor. Integrity is everything, and is the only thing anybody can do that tomorrow you will not regret it. Once ever you have integrity in whatever you do, the sky is your limit. And I believe we will also help the government to advocate and also push further to make sure that this country move forward in that direction. So
what a fine way to end this conversation. Thank you so much. You said integrity is everything, and I quite agree with you.
Integrity is everything.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time having this discussion with you, Comr Charles Agubor.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewers, that's all we can take for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like he said, integrity is all. In all that you do, have integrity, please. Public officials, Nigerians, whoever you are, from the top to the bottom, integrity is everything. It's been a wonderful time here on The Conversation. Like I said, we've been chatting with Comr Charles C Agubor. He is the Executive Director, Committed Advocate of Integrity Initiative, and he's also the convener of the National Integrity Summit. And recall that we earlier on the show we had the national leader of Labour Party, that's Comrade Anselm Eragbe, and it's been a wonderful time here on The Conversation. Like we all said, integrity is everything. I'll see you again next time. Keep watching The Conversation, because you never know who my next guest will be and what I will be speaking on again. From the nation's capital, Abuja, I am still Annabel Orji. God bless you and yours. God bless Nigeria.